So I like to talk about the Casio EFV-100. As someone with a small wrist, some might say as small as a sleeve of golf balls, 3 golf balls to be exact. I've owned this watch for over a year and I want to share 3 pros, 2 cons, and just some general comments on this particular watch. Just as a reference, I have a 6¼ inch or 16 centimeter wrist circumference and a wrist table wrist width from here to here of about 2 inches. But let's talk about the boring stuff, the dimensions. So from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I got 40 millimeters. From 9 to 3, including the crown, I got 43.5 millimeters. From lug to lug, I got 48 millimeters. In case you're curious, the crystal on this, I got it at 34.5 millimeters. And in terms of the band or the strap, I got 20 at the top and it goes down to roughly about 18. Okay, but why did I buy this? A good deal. Now I got this watch because I saw it on Amazon for a really good deal. It was being sold on Amazon UK at the time and the price was reasonable, so I got it. I think it was less than $100. And actually what happened was the packaging got lost in the mail, and so I was refunded the amount, but then the watch randomly arrived weeks later. Box was all busted. When I opened it up, everything was working and I was like, cool, I guess here it is. Now, pro number 1, it's the size. So the size of this watch works on 2 different levels, especially for someone with a small wrist. So first, it fits my wrist nicely. The bezel isn't too big and the watch just seems to sit nicely. It has a very nice design here on the lugs. It tends to wrap around, I don't know if you can see that. It tends to wrap around the wrist really nicely. So size-wise, comfort-wise, I think this watch looks absolutely perfect. Now, speaking of size, although it is perfect for my small wrist in terms of the 40 millimeters around, it's almost like this watch plays bigger because things seem to be scaled up. And I don't know if it's just me, like looking at it. Again, I don't know how this distorted the camera's making it look. It almost seems like everything is sort of magnified and lifted. I don't know what it is. It's just, when I look at it, it just looks like things are like big. So not only is the date a little bit big for, I think relatively big for a watch, which is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The date size is just big. But like you look at the hands on the clock, the indices it just looks big. Is it just me? Now, pro number 2 is design. So of course the design of the watch is really important and I like how this watch looks. But I do want to point out 2 features that really stand out to me, which is the depth of the face and the colors of the watch. Now, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe this is part of that magnification thing, illusion. I don't know what it is, but the watch feels deep. Like it feels like it's recessed down. And like, as I'm looking at it, it looks like it's almost like a pie crust, you know, like the way that the watch is, it just like the side, it just goes down so much and it feels like there's like a lot of room. Now, I also like the colors of this watch, the black, white, and of course the little tiny yellow, little gold like hint. I like those colors. To me, the standout feature is the yellow seconds arrow. I wish that the 100 meters of water resistance was not in yellow. I wish it was something else or removed completely, just put it on the back. But I haven't seen too many black, white, and yellow watches without the yellow totally dominating the entire watch, which I think Casio tends to do. It's highlighted in this particular style. And pro number 3, it's the features. So I just want to highlight 2 more features that I can really appreciate about this particular watch. The first is the date window. And it is a large one, like I mentioned. It just seems like the numbers are magnified. I don't know, they just look bigger than normal. Maybe in comparison to the other fonts, like other size of font on this watch, it's huge. And that helps with legibility. You don't need to have like a Cyclops or a magnifier on this thing. You should be able to read it. The font is an appropriate size for this watch. The second thing is the 100 meters of water resistance. So while I don't appreciate the fact that they put it in yellow and they put it on the watch face at all, I do appreciate that it's 100. I don't have to worry about this watch. I'm not gonna go swimming in it, but for general use, you know, washing hands and walking in the rain, I know I don't have to worry. Let's move on to the cons. And con number 1, it's the band. All right, taking off the watch here. Now the band, to me, it just feels, very, very cheap. I mean, it's nice, you know, it's clangy, you know. But it just feels cheap. And in fact, when I was adjusting this, it was very difficult to do. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'm just a beginner, but I had to take off a lot of links to fit my little small, super small wrist. And I actually ended up cutting one of my fingers and a lot of blood, and I was like, oh my gosh. But this is the only watch that's ever happened where I was taking out links and trying to adjust it, and I cut myself. So just be aware. I think it's because this strap is, it's not the greatest strap in the world. And con number 2, it just feels average. Now, this is one of the hardest things to explain about this watch, and I don't want it to come across like this is not a good watch. I think this is a great watch, but this is probably one of the most average watches that I have. There's so many good things about it. It's like you're nice. You're such a nice guy. You know, it's not you. It's me. But this watch, it's good, but there's nothing that stands out about it. Like if I had a smaller watch collection, maybe this watch would be like an all-star, right? Like it would like shine. But like because I have a lot of watches and I'm trying to search for good watches for a small wrist, and you know, my tastes change over time. This one has sort of sat in my watch, and maybe it has to do with how I got the watch, where you know I ordered it and then it got canceled and it showed up randomly, and I kind of lost interest in it because I thought the watch was gone, right? It was canceled order, so I just thought, oh, okay, well that's fine. You know, it's a good watch, just not exciting, you know. And I thought about buying different color variations and trying to complete the set, but then I thought, well, even if I did buy all the different color variations of this particular watch, I don't think I'd still wear them because they're kind of just all average. And so in a sad way, this watch is good in a lot of things, but not great in really any one thing. I mean, it's an interesting piece, but frankly, it's just kind of average and boring. So just to close, I would say if anyone's interested in checking out this watch, go check it out. I don't think you can try these on in any stores. These are a little bit older nowadays, but you won't be disappointed. And I think if you're building your collection, I think this watch is real nice, especially if you're moving from, let's say, digital, you know, some of the cheaper Casio watches, and you're like, yeah, I think I want to get a nice Edifice watch, but you don't want to spend like $200-300. If you can get a good deal on this one at, you know, $100-120, this might be a good entryway into the Edifice line. This is not too huge, you know, and again, what's really nice, if you look at the design of the watch on the lugs, it wraps around real nice, good legibility, very easy to read. And this watch is just, it's sharp, and if I didn't have a lot of other watches, you know, this might be it. You know, this could be a starter. You know, but the fact is I do have a lot of other watches, and so unfortunately this kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I still have it in my watch case. It's not like hidden away in the watch death drawer, but you know, just looking at this watch, I'm like, yeah, this is a nice watch. I know it's nice. It's just that I also have a lot of other nice watches, so you know, those are going to take a lot more wrist time. So I would recommend this watch if you can find a good deal on it. If you're starting out with a collection, if you like Edifice, which I appreciate Edifice watches, they're nice. But for this one in particular, it just, yeah, I think after time this one kind of wore off on me. So I'm going to keep it, but just something to consider if you're looking to expand your collection later down the road. So thanks for watching.